Hi, ladies and gentlemen, fellow traders. Welcome to another episode of Weekly Forex Outlook with Chart Engineering Pro. We really appreciate you for taking the time to watch this video, and we don't take it for granted at all. If you haven't yet subscribed or you are new to this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any content we post here. Then also, if you find value with what we share with you here, be sure to like, drop your comments, share your views, and share this video to your fellow traders or anyone who would find this information useful. Without wasting much time, let's have a quick recap of last week's setups discussed in our previous video before we dive into the analysis for the coming week. So we have here FTSE 100. Last week we were expecting price to pull back to the entry, so we could get another entry to continue this buy position, and then price came, but then it never made its way to the entry, so we couldn't add the position. But we are currently still holding to this TP for FTSE 100 or UK 100. We have here US 30. So for US 30, we're also expecting a pullback into this zone. We're expecting a pullback into this zone to give us a buying opportunity to the upside. We're expecting more price action to give us confirmations, but then price actually just hit the area of interest and then took off, so we couldn't participate or join this bull run or this bullish move to the upside, and price just made its way straight to the TP. For the coming week, we can look out for a continuation to this TP3. Price still has a potential to hit this TP3, so we can be looking for buying opportunities. If price pulls back into any of these zones and we get a buying opportunity, we can continue the buy to the upside to this TP3, which is also very possible to get to. We have here German 30. We waited for this trade for so long, and the price played out and took off without us actually. So we're expecting price to shift bullish and break this, have a daily candle closure above this daily structure over here. And we had this strong bullish engulfing candle that broke through this daily structure. And we're expecting a pullback and for us to get some buying opportunities. Price actually pulled back to retest the daily structure and then gave this strong bullish engulfing candle, and we missed it. We missed the move. We didn't get the price action we were looking for. We missed the move, and to take this trade directly here, the risk to reward would not make sense, so we had to let it go. So we missed out on this very solid trade which we were waiting for about 2 weeks or so. And so we have here EURNZD2. We're expecting price, as of last week, we're expecting price to pull back to any of these two areas of interest and to give us this buying move, and price actually but continued buying and without giving us a buying opportunity. So we missed out on we also missed out on EURNZD. So let's have a look at the economic calendar for the coming week, then we dive into the charts. So for the coming week, we'll have most of the central bank governors speaking for the coming week. And the US government shutdown also affected a couple of news, especially the NFP. So we have here, it says the US government data may be impacted by the shutdown. Tentative events are subject to delay, revision, or cancellation. So going into the following week or the coming week, especially NFP, if you look out for it, it might be delayed, revised, or cancelled. So we are not yet sure due to the US government shutdown. So for Monday, we have Chinese bank holiday. We also have the European Central Bank president speaking, and later in the day, we also have the Bank of England's governor speaking. On Tuesday, we also still have the Chinese holiday, and on Wednesday as well, Chinese holiday continues, or I think it ends on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, we have NZD's official cash rate, which is very, very volatile. It's a very, very volatile event, so be on the lookout for it. If you're holding any NZD position or you are interested in taking any NZD trade, you have to be on the lookout for this particular news. It's very, very volatile. And then we also have the Bank of Japan's governor also speaking on Wednesday, and also FOMC meeting minutes. On Thursday, we have unemployment claims for the USD. On Friday, we have AUD, the the Central Bank of Australia's governor also speaking on Friday. And on Friday, we have CAD unemployment change. This is more like the NFP for the Canadian dollar. So we should look out for the CAD pairs on Friday. And we still have the NFP here, which is still tentative, so we can't tell whether it will be held or it will be postponed or it will be cancelled. And also have the preliminary inflation expectations and consumer sentiments later on Friday. So let's dive into the charts for the coming week. We have here DXY. So last week we were expecting DXY to pull back into this very first zone to give us buying opportunities to the upside, or if price violates this zone, then we still look out for the downside move from the previous weeks. So price pulled back into this zone, and in the 4-hour we got a 4-hour structural shift. We had a 4-hour structural shift here. So with this strong bullish engulfing candle on the 4-hour, price gave us a confirmation that we are looking forward to possible buys to the upside. So we're waiting for this pullback to give us a buying confirmation, maybe a bullish engulfing, another extra bullish engulfing candle. Then we look for buying opportunities, or we get a confirmation for our buys to the upside. So we are still looking forward to this bullish move for the coming week. Or if price violates this zone and breaks below and comes for retest, we will look for a downside on DXY or on the US dollar pairs. We have here the Japanese yen index, and as of last week we were expecting price to pull back to this zone to give us a selling confirmation to the downside. Price came back to this zone and gave us a nice pin bar rejection and an engulfing candle. So going into next week, we'll be looking forward to more price action, or we can these are the two options we'll be looking out for the JPY pairs or for the JPY index. If price pulls back and gives us a possible double top, we'll be looking forward to sell to the downside, or if price gives us a lower high formation gives us a buying confirmation, a selling confirmation, sorry, then we'll be looking for shorts on the Japanese yen index. So looking at the potential move we are looking out for on the Japanese yen index, we should be looking for more buys on the XXX JPY pairs, or we should expect weakness in the Japanese yen index for the coming week. We have here EURUSD, and EURUSD, as we had the setup from last week, we were expecting price to pull back into this zone to give us selling confirmation. Price pulled back, gave us a daily rejection candle, and this momentum was not too strong. This candle that engulfed this rejection candle was not too strong, and we now have a pullback back into the zone. And if you drop down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see price was forming a possible head and shoulder at our area of interest where we are looking for it to sell. So if you can see here, this is the head and shoulder formation that's developed at our area of interest. So this is our left shoulder, this is our head, and possible right shoulder here, and then price broke and we're expecting a retest back into the neckline. By looking at how price is forming, it looks like the right shoulder is rather forming here instead. So possibly for the coming week, we might get some reversal pattern, or should we get any 4-hour bearish engulfing candle around this zone, we'll be interested in taking the sells. And if we get, let's say, an engulfing candle somewhere around here, we'll take the sells and put our SL above the head of the head and shoulder pattern, and then we target this first target as our first target, and then the second target as we had from last week. So this is the overall picture we are looking at for EURUSD for the coming week. So let's be on the lookout. The other alternative you can consider for the sell is to wait for price to break below, or if price breaks below, price clears these lows, price clears it, counts for a retest, then we look for selling opportunities to the downside. So if you look out, we should look out for these options. and this can only be violated if we clear this zone and price buys to the upside and continues the upside movement. So until then, we are very bearish on Euro USD. We have here GBP USD, and we were expecting price as of last week. We expected price to pull back to this area of interest to give us a selling confirmation, and as you can see, price pulled back to the very first zone and give us something like a double top, which is not too clear. So for the coming week, what we'll be looking out for is a selling confirmation, maybe a head and shoulder on a lower time frame, a double top on a lower time frame, an engulfing candle, a bearish engulfing candle on a lower time frame, and that's when we'll be interested in selling from this zone. Should price also continue to buy upside and come to the second zone above, we'll still be looking out for those reversal patterns or those reversal confirmations to take price to the downside, and the same targets we had from last week. If price values this zone, then it means we are going bullish. But until then, we are still very bearish on GBP USD. We have here USDCHF. So last week, looking at the formation we had on DXY, we had a confirmation, a buying confirmation here. When price pulled back into our area of interest, we had a 4-hour structural shift here, and then price pulled back to the structural shift, where the 4-hour structure was, and we took our buy position here. Price went into profits for a while and then reversed back into the entry, or currently running in a loss. So we are still going to keep holding this trade, this buy position. Should we get an engulfing candle, if you missed out on this trade, or you are yet to take this trade, should we get an engulfing candle from any of this area or these zones, a bullish engulfing candle, you can take your position and then take your buy to the upside and put your SL below the zone to protect it. And this can only be validated if we break below this zone and get a retest to the downside, to the previous target we were looking at for the deep cap pattern on USDCHF. So until this zone is violated, we are currently bullish on USDCHF. We had this set up from last week. That's the NZDUSD, and we're expecting price to pull back to the zone, which price has made its way into the zone. And if we drop down to a lower time frame, you see a possible reversal pattern forming. This is our left shoulder, the head, and a possible right shoulder forming here. So looking at this candle formation, price can just continue downside. Price can just continue downside and break this neckline, and possibly come for a retest of the neckline and continue the sales to the downside for NZDUSD. Alternatively, price can also pull back or can continue the buying move or the pullback a bit deeper to these regions and then get a selling confirmation to the downside. So we are still very bearish on NZD. Take these ones out. Yes, we are still very bearish on NZDUSD. We have here EURGBP, and EURGBP, I'm looking forward to a possible selling opportunity here. So we're looking forward to price to pull back a bit to this zone, give us and start selling from here and get us a pullback into this line, and then we look for selling opportunities here to the downside, targeting this place as our first target and our second target over here. If price does not give us this formation for the coming week and we get price to break above this zone, price breaks above this zone, we look forward to a pullback into the zone and look for buying opportunities to the upside, targeting this first target and then a possible second target above, which is this second target. But I'm very bearish for now. I'm very bearish on EURGBP. But until these highs get validated and broken and then price comes back, we'll be looking forward to this kind of formation on EURJPY. We have here EURJPY, and for EURJPY, just as we saw on the Japanese yen index, we have this nice reversal pattern or reversal confirmation from this strong area of interest. So going into next week, just as we saw from the yen index, It's either we get a possible double top, a double bottom here, get a break, get a retest, and continue to the upside for EURJPY, or we can just get a lower high, a higher low formation, and then we get a buy to the upside to complete this move to the upside. So we are very bullish on EURJPY. This can be violated if price breaks below the zone and continues to the downside. Then we're looking for bearish side of things on EURJPY. We have here CHFJPY. We had this setup from episode 12, where we were expecting price to pull back to any of these two areas of interest to give us a buying opportunity to the upside. Price actually has now made its way to the second zone and given us a reaction just like what we saw on EURJPY. So it's either we get the higher low formation, get a continuation and continue the buy to the upside, or we look forward to a possible double bottom formation to give us a more strong confirmation to the upside. Then we're looking for those buys. So this can be violated if we break below the zone and continue the downside move from there. So we are very bullish on the JPY pairs or the XXX JPY pairs for the coming week. We have here AUDJPY, and AUDJPY too is extremely bullish. Price has actually tipped the area of interest slightly, but going into next week, I'll be expecting price to at least give us a nice formation, a cleaner formation on the daily time frame. So I'll be expecting price to pull back a bit into the zone and give us a reversal confirmation. But if you switch to the 4-hour time frame, you realize that price has already shifted and giving us a possible reversal. So we have this left shoulder, this head, and the possible right shoulder. So on a 4-hour time frame, even though a price has tipped the area of interest, it looks like it has already shifted bullish. But I'll be expecting more price action to get a clearer confirmation for this buying opportunity in this zone. If price also pulls back all the way here, we get a buying confirmation, we can still look for the buy to the upside. Until then, we are very, very, very until price comes to break this zone to the downside, we are very, very bullish on AUDJPY. We have here GBPCAD, and for GBPCAD we have this harmonic pattern forming, which is a possible butterfly pattern, and which is here to complete. So for the coming week, we'll be looking for buying opportunities to complete this pattern. We have so this is the pattern that we identify. This is our X, this is our A, this is our B, this is our C, and this is our possible D leg. So for the coming week, we'll be looking for it to see price and pull back into this area of interest, give us buying confirmations, and buy to complete this harmonic pattern on GBPCAD. So we are very bullish on GBPCAD, and let's look out for those buys. We also have here AUDCHF. We've had this setup for weeks now, which we are expecting price to give us a possible cipher or shark pattern, and then we are expecting price to react from this area of interest, and we've gotten that reaction. So for the coming week, all we need to see is price to give us a possible C-leg formation. If we drop down to a lower time frame, you see this is a harmonic pattern actually developing right now. So we're expecting price to pull back to this daily structure or a bit deeper and look for give us buying confirmations, a reversal pattern, double bottom, inverted and shoulder, or a strong engulfing. Then we're looking forward to these buys to the upside. So if we drop down to a much more lower time frame, you see we have a harmonic pattern forming here, which we have our X, our A, our B. We are waiting for a possible C-leg formation, then we continue the buy to the upside. So we are waiting for this pullback to give us this possible C-leg formation, then we take our buys to the upside. So it's going to be a very long move for a very long swing trade for AUDCHF. We also have here EURCHF, and it's actually giving us the movement that we've been expecting from the previous weeks. We're expecting this daily structure to be broken, and we had that break with this bullish candle, this daily candle, and price is actually pulling back to the area of interest, just as we saw on AUDCHF we're looking forward to some reversal patterns around these zones to take our buys to the upside. So we are very bullish on Euro CHF as we had from the previous weeks, or just as we had the setup from the previous weeks. So this zone can be violated if price breaks the zone and comes for a retest and goes downside. Until then, we are very, very bullish on Euro CHF. We have here UK oil or Brent crude oil. We're expecting this sell move we've been expecting it for a very long time. So last week price gave us a nice rejection and this strong bearish engulfing candle, which was a nice confirmation for ourselves. If we had had any pullback to this zone, a possible right shoulder, or any lower high around here, we would have taken that opportunity because this engulfing candle is very big. If you are taking the trade here, if you are taking this position here, the SL is going to be too huge. Like the risk to reward will not make any sense. So we just have to ignore it and wait for a better selling opportunity. So for the coming week, all we're waiting for is to see price pull back into this zone, give us selling confirmations on the lower time frames, and then look for sell to the downside, targeting $60.457 per barrel, and then the second TP $55.651 per barrel for the Brent crude oil. So we are very bearish on Brent crude oil at the moment. It can only be violated if price breaks above the zone and continues to the upside. But until then, we are very, very, very bearish on UK 100. UK oil. We have here the S&P 500. S&P 500 is giving us a very nice formation, possible deep crab pattern formation, and this is the pattern that was identified. This is our X, this is our BA, this is our B, our B is here, our C, and our possible D. So for the coming week, all we're looking out for is to see a pullback, to see price pull back to any of these two zones, either this zone, give us bullish confirmations and continue their buy to the upside, or we get a pullback to this second zone below and look for buying confirmations to the upside. Until then, we are extremely bullish on the S&P 500 until this one breaks below, gives us a confirmation or a retest, and we look for selling opportunities. But until then, we are very, very, very bullish on S&P 500 for the coming week. We also have here the Russell 2000 or the US 2000, which also has a similar formation just like the S&P 500. So going into the coming week and going into next week, we're looking forward to a pullback to this zone, this area of interest, get buying confirmations and buy to the upside. So targeting this point, that's our TP1, and our TP2 will be this price. So we are very, very bullish on the Russell 2000 or US 2000. This can be violated if we break this zone, clear this zone, clear these lows, then price can continue to the downside. Until then, we are extremely bullish. So to the last pair, we have the Australian 200. So for Australian 200, we are also very bullish on Australian 200. And for the coming week, we'll be looking forward to a possible pullback into this zone and then get buying confirmation to complete or to this very target we have here, or this second target. I'm supposed to give a bonus for this week. I think I forgot to prepare the setup, but then let me drop this one quickly. The bonus setup for this week is BTC. BTC. So BTC, as we can see, we are actually looking forward to price to hit 135,000 as our next target. So we have this harmonic pattern forming, we have this crab pattern formation right here, and our potential reversal zone is around 35,000. It's around $135,000 per BTC. So for the coming week, this is the pattern that is developing. This is the X, this is the A, this is the B, this is the C, We're looking forward to the potential D leg. So for the coming week, we look forward to see price to we're looking forward for price to pull back to this area somewhere here, somewhere in this zone. Yes, and we get another somewhere here. Yes, somewhere there. So wait for the weekly candle closure for the coming week. Then we'll look forward to a pullback into this zone. We look forward to a pullback into this zone around 120, 117,000. Then we look for buying opportunities from here to complete this potential crab pattern to see BTC create a new all-time high at 135,000 per BTC. So we have our TP, a potential TP at 135,000 dollars for BTC. So let's look forward to this move for Bitcoin. And as you can see, the entire crypto market is very bullish now, and a lot of money is being pumped. So let's see the last one, the total crypto market cap. Yes, I had this set up some weeks ago. So if you look at the entire market cap for the crypto market, price is forming this butterfly pattern. So there's more upside for the crypto market cap. So price can also pull back to any of these areas and continue to complete this butterfly pattern, or to just continue buying to the upside. So the bull run is still on. So if you're into crypto, look out for these. Look out for more upside for the coming weeks or months. Thank you so much for sticking through to this video, the end of this video. I really appreciate you for taking the time to watch. As we enter into the coming week, I wish you a profitable week, a fruitful one as well, and then make sure you apply proper risk management to your trades and trade safe and sound. I'll catch you on another episode. Take care and have a good time. Bye bye.